God bless you and welcome back for another night of full court press with the pastor, yours truly, Coach Jenkins. I'm excited about this episode. I'm your host today and I'm encouraged, so I want to encourage you as we take a deep dive into the heart of resilience. I'm telling you, if you do not have resiliency, you do not have what you need to succeed in this everyday life, because I'm telling you, resiliency is the key to all of our success. Whether it's a tough loss on the court or a personal setback, the game of basketball and the game of life both teaches us valuable lessons about bouncing back. It's all about how we stand back up, how we get stronger, and how we get wiser after we've been knocked down. So I'm telling you, it's your season for a bounce back blessing. Go ahead and tag and share that. As you tag and share with your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, people that you care about, let them know that Coach Jenkins is on the line. And I'm here today to coach you into a new beginning, a new season, a new opportunity. But this is a greater day. You know, there is no day like today. You know, my father used to often say, don't put off today for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised to you. So all we have is right now. We have this opportunity right now to bounce back. You can't worry about yesterday. You can't worry about what happened in the past. You can't worry about how you were treated. You can't worry about what they did to you. All you have is the day. And it's going to take resiliency to be able to step into this season of bouncing back. This is the year of renewal, and we got to take this great opportunity to make it a better day. So go ahead, tag and share whatever you need. It's here. We're going to motivate one another. We're going to encourage one another to push beyond the break. You know what I mean? I wear several hats, as you can see. You know, even every now and then I put on my bingo cap. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes we have to step back to be able to see where we are, assess every situation, find out what we can do better. You know, it's like when I'm in practice with my girls and we done watched the film and we looked at, you know, how the game went last week. We come together and say, hey, what could we have done better in that moment, so that when we face that moment again, and trust me, you're going to face that moment again down the road, what would we do? How can we handle that situation better? Because it's all about bouncing back. Why? Can't change the score from last game. Can't do nothing about the game we've already played. Why? Because life keeps going on and we have to get better as we go. So listen, it's all about resiliency. Somebody put that on the screen for me as well. Resiliency, resiliency, resiliency. That's one word you're going to need every day of your life. That's right. We have to have that resiliency. What is resiliency, you might say? It's the ability to be able to bounce back quickly. I mean, you got to be able to do it quick, fast, in a hurry, because if you linger with it, it will get the best of you. But you know what? Pick up yourself, get going, pick up the people that are around you and say, listen, yesterday is gone, tomorrow may never be ours, but we have right now. So let's get up from here and let's make a comeback, because it's very crucial that we make that comeback. Well, in order to make a comeback, you have to have a game plan. What is a game plan? You know, that game plan is the very thing that you and I are going to discuss how we want to dictate the game. You know, right before the game, I bring my girls together and I lay out my agenda for the game plan. Say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start out this way. We're going to start out that way. And how we dictate the tempo of the game will determine the outcome. What we don't want is for our opponent to dictate the game. We want to do it. So let's kick things off with that. You know what I mean? As we talk about the game plan. See, today we're talking about setting ourselves up for resiliency. We're setting ourselves up from the outset to be able to have a spirit of comeback, to have a spirit of getting up quickly. because we don't know what our opponent is coming with. We prepare for this game, but we don't know what they're going to do. See, in basketball, a solid defensive plan is crucial for a comeback. Similar in life, our foundation of faith, community, self-discipline forms our defense against life's unexpected challenges. See, it's about preparing not just for the game you're playing today, but for any adversity the future holds, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. Remember, resiliency starts long before the challenge appears. It's built in the quiet moments of preparation and faith. Practice. I tell my girl, we gotta take practice serious. You can't come to practice, worrying about what your boyfriend doing, worrying about the how-do, worrying about what people said about you on campus all day. Practice is the place where we prepare. They would tell us, practice make perfect. But I say to my team, perfect practice make perfect. You gotta practice the way you want to play the game. So if you don't prepare before you go out there in life, it's gonna eat you up. So we have to prepare ourselves, with this resiliency. So it starts with my preparation. The difference between Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and all these elite players who are cut above the rest, not only in their contract, but in their preparation. They say that when the practice is over, Kobe Bryant will be the last one to leave. But guess what? He's also the first one there. I remember one guy gave the story, say, when they went to the Olympics together, that he had made up in his mind that he was gonna not let Kobe Bryant outwork him. And he had made sure he went to bed on time, because he said he's gonna get up early in the morning and get down to that gym, so when Kobe come, he'll find him there. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna be at that gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. So when he went there, man, he just knew this was gonna be an exciting day. Only to open the gym door, and guess who he find in there working on his craft? Kobe Bryant. The difference is you got to get in those quiet moments and prepare and get your faith in order so that you can overcome every adversity in life. So that's our game plan. Our game plan is we're going to be prepared, because when you prepare, you can be ready for in the paint. You'll be ready in the paint. So when we look at in the paint, this is where the action happens. You done prepared, you done got yourself ready, you know what I mean? You put the extra hours in, you stayed after practice to shoot those extra free throws. Here's where our resiliency is truly tested. I want to share a story about a player I once coached. Let's call him Marcus. See, Marcus faced a significant injury mid-season, a setback that could have ended his career. But what defined Marcus wasn't his injury, it was his comeback. Through physical therapy, mental fortitude, and an unwavering faith, Marcus returned to the game stronger than ever. It's a testament to the power of resiliency, not just in recovering, but in transforming adversity into strength. See, that's what resiliency is all about. Taking the negative, turning it into a positive. I mean, Marcus could have just said, you know what, coach, it's over for me. Nothing's good going to come out of this. I worked so hard, and now, man, I have this injury on me, and I just, my season, it may be, career ending. But no, Marcus said, you know what, coach, just what I had to do to get me here, I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to get back up. I am going to push myself again. I'm going to go through this therapy. Yes, I'm having mental anxiety. Yes, my faith is shaky, but I'm going to get a hold of myself, coach. And let me tell you something. When Marcus came back, man, everybody's like, is this the same dude? Yes. See, the testimony is this, that there is power in resiliency, not just in recovering, but in transforming adversity into strength. So not only did Marcus return better than he was when he first started, but he returned with a testimony that if you put forth the effort, if you go beyond the arc, if you go beyond the situation, you'll find yourself better. That's right, beyond the arc. Yes, if you go beyond the arc, this is where we celebrate those long shots that defined us. See, today, I want to highlight the story of Sarah as well, a young woman who used basketball to turn her life around. Coming from a troubled background, Sarah found comfort and direction in the game of basketball. See, basketball taught her discipline, teamwork, and most importantly, it taught her resiliency. See, her journey from the streets to becoming a college athlete is a powerful reminder that with faith and perseverance, no setback is too great to overcome. She could have said, you know what, I'm raised in a poverty community, lack is all around me, mom and dad don't have enough, to help me and assist me to get all the necessary things that I need, to be successful. And no doubt most of her injuries came because she didn't have the quality of equipment to train on like everybody else may have had. No, Sarah found her comfort in the fact that she was playing the game. She was a part of a team and she had the opportunity to be able to raise the bar in what she believed was her outcome, somewhere she can hide herself. So she took the game of basketball and said, you know what? I'm going to learn discipline. I'm going to learn teamwork. And most importantly, I'm going to learn resiliency. I'm going to learn how to take this negative that has been given to me and I'm going to turn it into a positive. And that's where her journey from the streets to becoming a college athlete began. This is a powerful reminder. And I want to remind you that your faith, your perseverance, you will be able to take any setback that has come your way and you yourself will create a great outcome. Because it's in that you are preparing. You are getting yourself ready. For what, Coach? The full court press. Yes, full court press. I mean, that's where it is. I told my girls when I took over coaching in Broward County, I said, listen, if we're going to be a great team, we're going to have to learn how to break the full court press. Because every girls team that I've faced in Broward County press. If you don't learn how to break a press, meaning if you can't get that ball from the inbound past that half court, which you only have 10 seconds to do, it's going to be a long night. And trust me, there has been many long nights in my coaching career, but we constantly work on breaking the full court press. I mean, we spend hours in practice working on the full court press. We work on the full court press more than we do free throws. We work on the full court press more than we do laying the ball up, more than jump shot, more than three-point shots. Why? Because if we cannot break the full court press, we will not be successful, watch this, in the game of basketball, nor will we be successful in the game of life. See, full court press is where we're focusing on the tactics of resiliency. We're practicing against a full court press so that when we come up against it, we will know how to break it. See, first we got to recognize when you're facing a full court press in life, it is crucial. It is crucial that you understand the strategies that you need to take in order to break that press. It's that feeling of being overwhelmed, when the pressure comes against you. Many of my girls collapse under the full court press when I first started coaching, man. I mean, and when I say collapse, I'm talking about having to call a timeout and girls literally coming to the sideline crying with tears in their eyes. Coach, they're all over us. Coach, the girls should just keep elbowing me, Coach. Coach, the girls just, I said, listen, welcome to the game of basketball. Yes, it's overwhelming. Yes, it's pressure. I mean, it is so much pressure, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to throw the ball away, and the other team is going to go up and score, and it's going to be a long night until you accept the challenge of pressure coming from all areas of direction. And as that pressure is coming, you got to know what your next move is. See, the key to breaking a full court press is never panicking. Don't you panic. See, just like in the game of basketball now, you got to take a deep breath. You got to look at life situations. You got to look for your teammates. You got to look for your prayer warriors. You got to look for people that you trust, people that you believe in, people that has, you put your confidence in. You got to look for them. That's what you got to do on the basketball court. You got to find another guard. You got to get that ball out of your hand, because if you hold that ball, if you hold that situation for too long, the pressure is coming. See, faith is our moments where we, as a coach at this level, when the pressure is on, this is when you got to have some good coaching qualities. You got to be able to remind those players, listen, we prepared for this. As a pastor, you got to, encourage the members. We prepared for this. When you get that bad report from the doctor, when you get that bad report concerning your son or your daughter, when you get that report concerning your significant other, you got to understand you prepared for this. How did you prepare? You prepared in prayer. You prepared in fasting. You prepared in reading the word. You are totally equipped. Somebody put on the feet. I'm prepared for this. I can handle the full court press. See, it's also important for us to be able to adapt. You got to seek support. Maintain a positive outlook, even when the scoreboard is not in your favor. And a lot of time it will not be in your favor when you're being pressured. Life will not be, a sweet bed or smelling of roses and, the potpourri of life. No, it won't happen that way until you learn to say, you know what? Because the pressure is going to keep coming, I'm going to keep preparing. And a lot of times, in that first half of the game, when they pressured us and they went up by so many points, we got to go to the locker room. And it's in that locker room where we have to discuss the strategy for the next half of that game. You know why? Because our game plan was not successful in the first half. Oh yeah, it's in the locker room. It's in the locker room where we have to redefine our strategy. See, the locker room is that part. And I wanted to be that part of this episode where we get a chance to hear from you. How's it going? When we're in the locker room, I ask the guard, so what do you see out there? I ask the forward, what do you see out there? You know what I mean? I ask the center, how things are looking. What type of pressure are they placing on us? Are they in a 2-3, 2-1-2, 1-3-1? What's really going on out there? In the locker room is where we all get a chance to communicate. In the game plan, it's the coach telling us how we're going to dictate the game. It's the coach telling us what moves we're going to make. If they bring this defense, we're going to bring that offense. If we put this defense on them and they shift to this offense, that's the coach in the game plan. But in the locker room, that's where you and I come together and say, hey, this is what's happening out there. The locker room is where husband and wife come together and say, you know what? We may not be on the same page right now, let's sit down and talk. Let's see if we can get on the same page, because we're not on the same page. This is where the family come together and have family discussion. This is where the church call a meeting and say, hey, let's regroup. Let's find out where we are. Let's get this thing together. This is that opportunity for us to talk. This is not that time where you don't say nothing. You know how it is sometimes in a relationship, the conversation ain't going well. You throw in the towel. You say, I don't want to. No, locker room is where we talk. That's where we're going to share the principles, the strategies that we're using is not working. Let's adapt some resiliency here. Let's bounce back in this second half. Let's go back and refortify. Figure out what we're doing. Maybe we're holding the ball too long when the pressure comes. Maybe it's time to kick it out a little bit more. Maybe swing it. Maybe an extra pass or two. This is where we have to talk. This is where our faith really ignites. This is where community support comes and strategy of thinking. It helps navigate through this challenging time. I want to share this story as I come to a close today. A young man by the name of David, powerful example for us all, proving that resiliency isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. When David recognized, listen, things are not working on the court, and I believe it's because we're not playing to our greater strength, that we're trying to play to the strength of our opponent. When they run, we run. When this happens, but I believe that if we stick with the game plan, that we'll have a better outcome. And that was that locker room experience. So when we emerged from the locker room, we did exactly that. It wasn't the coach's strategy for the second half, but it was David taking the moment to say, what our team lacked is a leader on the court. Yeah, we have a leader off the court. Isn't Jesus Christ our true leader off the court? But we need leadership on the court. The first thing people do when things are not going well, and the first thing they want to do, well, maybe God wasn't in that, or maybe Jesus didn't want that to happen. We always quick to run and blame Jesus. But how many know that Jesus left us here on this earth to figure some of this stuff out for ourselves? So in David's situation, David said, listen, we got a good coach. Coach, give us the strategy at the beginning of the game. But it failed because we didn't execute. So David said, what we really need on this court is a leader on the court. So when you're on the court in the midst of the pressure, you got a teammate there saying, throw it here, throw it there, drive down, put the ball on the ground, triple threat, turn and face. You got that on the court. So that's the resiliency that we need to fall into, with everybody understanding that it's going to take the entire team in order for us to break the full court press. All right, as we wrap up today of another episode of Full Court Press, talking about resiliency, I hope you feel inspired and equipped to face your full court presses with faith and fortitude. Remember, resiliency is built both on and off the court. It's in every practice. It's in every prayer, in every game of life that we play. And we have to understand that we can't wait for the game to come to us, but we got to get up and we got to go and play the game. Well, that's it, my friend. Until the next time, keep pressing on and let resiliency be the hallmark of your game. And remember, like I always tell you, I'll tell you again today, if you go with God, God's going to go with you. Be blessed, and I'll see you in the winning circle. God bless you.